Ball through the max zone. Beautiful control. Not a wild swing of the bat.
And that's up in the air. Man at cover point on the fence won't get there. Just plugs in the very heavy, moist turf in the outfield. So a couple of runs to RJ Jadeja. 27 runs so far coming from Brendan Julian's final over. And there's more runs. So going towards the boundary line, but Greg Blewett will stop it. So 29 from the over, and Brendan Julian finishes his spell with the figures of 2 for 40.
Yes, 56 for 2, a good over for India to say the least. These two guys are beautiful strikers of the ball. Robin Singh is the sort of guy who you have to make come to you. You can't just bowl in the slot to him. You basically got to set an offside field and bowl out there.
Well, a couple of wickets have fallen, both to Brendan Julian. He got 2 in the first game for Australia against Pakistan. And both openers, Mongia and Kanitka, going to catches. One to Adam Gilchrist behind the stumps, and a blinder to Damien Fleming at short fine leg. Chowan, Agaka, famous name of Gavaskar, to come in as well. And man is at short fine leg and overthrows.
Yeah, he's in a good position, that man, just inside the circle there at short fine leg, because Robin Singh will try and pick the ball up off his hip and whip it around backward of square. So there's a chance of a catch there for him. But if you get onto about middle stump, he'll smack you back over your head. But he's not such a great cover driver through the offside.
Again, just chipping it around the corner off the bowling of Blewett, who played so well this morning. 65 Blewett made this morning against Pakistan, playing very, very normal cricket shots, batting very normally, and the poor fella's got an ingrown toenail at the moment. He was trying to have some treatment at lunchtime. Now he's trying to fight his way through what he told me was just enormous pain that he has to get through to play this game.
Just a few slight changes in the field, just holding up play for a bit. A man at on the boundary at deep mid-wicket. Now, we've been saying just about all day that the players who have played good cricket shots have got good results from that. Now, he has not tried to hit this where it was supposed to go. That probably should have gone through the covers if he was going to have a go at it. And I think a good example of that was the last ball of the last game. A magnificent cover drive from Chris Drum. Just stayed on the ball and hit it hard. Went for 4 and won the game.
Short from Blewett. And Gavin Robertson coming off the fence, the man who didn't play in the first game. He has replaced Damien Martin in the Australian side for this, the second game for Australia. And these two sides should figure prominently in the wins and losses board, along with New Zealand. And that's a crisp hit. And you don't hit them any better than that. And Blewett just shakes his head as the umpire signals 6 runs over the fence.
A short arm swat, look at that, the power through the ball. And that's where he hits big sixes. It'll be a lost ball, I would say, and he won't get any more for a lost ball. They'll just have to bring another one out. Look at this go. It's probably cleared the boundary by some 50 metres.
Yes, and if he keeps playing like that, they may start to run out of some ammunition here.
a I think Adam Gilchrist might think about Gavin Robertson to Robin Singh. He loves the ball just slipping on at this medium fast pace. Come around the wicket and make him come to him outside off stump, spin the ball away from him. He loves it in close.
34 from 12 balls. 35 from 13 to end of the over. And halfway through the Indian innings, India 67 for 2.
Yeah, they're enjoying themselves out there, these guys. It's a license to kill, isn't it, if you're any good here in this game of eights. Generally only 3 fields on either side of the wicket. Julian's gone for a big one in his last over, 2 for 40, and Blewett's gone for 20 off 2.
3 overs maximum for any bowler. Brendan Julian has done that with plenty going from his last over. 29 from his third and final over. He's been replaced by Andrew Symonds and goes down to the man in question, Brendan Julian. 2 runs and perhaps just a little bit closer to the throw, and he would have been in a bit more strife, but no appeal by the Australians.
Beautiful athlete, Brendan Julian. So tall, but so coordinated in the field. And unfortunately for him, he's not as consistent with his coordination with his bowling. You know, with the talent and the ability he's got, if he could just get it all together, he'd be a brilliant all-rounder in the international arena.
And with the 7th over having been completed, the fielding restrictions are off the captain of the fielding side, Adam Gilchrist. 2 men now inside the circle. Both of those are behind the wicket. Short third man and short fine leg, which means that the batsman hitting in front of the wicket will be rewarded every time. It's just a matter of how many. Michael Di Venuto from Tasmania, the fieldsman at long on.
Ajay Jadeja has just looked a little lazy and with a couple of his shots. Just lately, he's got to keep his head on the ball and hit through the ball.
Nice slow ball off spinner from Symonds. Got the desired result for Australia, just a single. Pretty happy with singles in this game. It's the 4s and the maximum shots in the max zone that really hurt the fielding side. So that's a very good over from Andrew Symonds. And finishes it off with a single as well. So Symonds replaced Brendan Julian, and it did a very good job in his first over. India 73 for 2.
Yes, some good captaincy from Adam Gilchrist. Just the change of pace, the ball not coming on as nicely as these two would like. Steve Waugh was originally named captain to tour here for this tournament. He's had to pull out. Adam Gilchrist doing a wonderful job, loving it.
So nice partnership development here with Jadeja and Singh. 25 from 19, 39 from 17 respectively, and Ajay Jadeja just changing the helmet for the famous Indian cap. So he will face, as Bruce Yardley predicted, Gavin Robertson.
Two men in the circle here, one at cover point and one at a backward point, deep gully. 3 men on the fence on the onside and a man at wide long off.
And you've got to be pretty good to pierce the gap. There's 3 out there and unable to do so.
Now this is going to interest me as to what field they're going to set for Robin Singh here, whether Robertson will come around the wicket. Up comes the man from deep backward point into the circle. Out goes deep mid-wicket. So the two men inside the circle. About 45 degrees, both on the offside and the leg side. And a man at long off and a man at cover on the points.
Gavin Robertson would have learned a bit about bowling to Indian batsmen when he was in India, because he suffered some stick every now and then. Came back and I thought he did very well on the tour. It was in fact Australia's highest wicket taker on that tour during the test matches. Good bowling, great piece of fielding at cover point by Ricky Ponting, the vice captain on this Australian side, Gilchrist being the skipper.
Superb balance.
Nice subtle little chip into the max zone, and 8 runs. Not trying to hit it too hard, just a nice full-length delivery, and Robin Singh able just to chip it over the bowler's head.
It's a very good shot. The ball didn't actually turn, which meant that he could hit through the line of the ball. He's going to come around the wicket. He's going to have to spin it away from him. He's coming over.
And the ball was dropped by Adam Gilchrist. He's still looking at the umpire, asking whether he broke the stumps with the ball before it fell out of his hands.
Was I hearing things then? Did I hear a nick? It was a nick and a stumping chance, I believe. Hasn't lifted his foot. He'll be safe with the stumping chance, I would say. Whoa!
So Singh brings up his half century to Robin Singh. So Robin Singh, 50 from just 21 deliveries, very good for India. And that is the end of an eventful Gavin Robertson over. So India is India 86 for 2. And well, I think the appeal was worthwhile. Well, his foot was in the air. Just one wonders whether he got down. This may show whether the foot was behind the line.
India after the hands over are 86 for 2. Robin Singh is on 50. And Ajay.
Part of the foot has to be grounded behind the line, doesn't it? So, very fine line. But he's there. He'll be happy. He's got the benefit of the doubt.
Waist high full toss. And Ponting does brilliantly out mid-wicket. And the umpire being asked by the batsman, RJ Jadeja, about the waist-high full toss, but the law does say a fast delivery, which is a bit of a ludicrous law, I must say. What does define fast? Chance to run out. He can have a throw at the stumps and just misses. And Robertson throws to the keeper's end to put Jadeja under more pressure, but a bit of Keystone Cops cricket, and Jadeja smiles as a result.
He didn't miss by much, did he, Simons? He's got around pretty well. And he was gone by a long way had he hit. He's doing a good job here, Andrew Simons. Just changing his pace a little, keeping the faster one fairly well pitched up. It's pretty hard to dig out and hit over the top. My goodness, where's that gone? That is 6. Lands in the players' viewing area. Just as I'd said, he'd been doing a pretty good job, Andrew Symonds. He's bowled a shocker of a full toss. Right on the hips. And it's gone out of the park for 6.
Well, that's just crisp hitting for Robin Singh. That is taking the proverbial candy. And a half misfield from Symonds. Very good piece of fielding of his own bowling, and hits the stump as well. But he is a very good athlete, Andrew Symonds, a big hitter of the cricket ball. We haven't quite seen it. No doubt over the next couple of days we will see it.
Could have saved 7 runs there then, Andrew Symonds, because long off was quite wide, and it probably would have gone through the max zone for 4 had he not got a hand to that, so he saved 7.
Here the 10th over, and here are now 96 for 2. Robin Singh is on
9.6 per over. From our reckoning, it was a 5-ball over, but the umpire had called over, so it's back to Gavin Robertson bowling to Robin Singh. And a single down to long off. Brendan Julian, the fieldsman, changing the commentary position. It is Sunil Gavaskar, and with him, Robin Jackman.
And what a change in fortunes for India. Well, I handed over to David Hooks not long ago. Australia pretty much in control, but Jadeja and Singh looking as if they were beginning to find the middle of the bat. They've certainly done that. Terrific innings from both of them so far, Sunil.
Yes, they played very sensibly. They're experienced players. They've done this very often for India in one-day cricket. Jadeja in particular has had to come in when the need of the hour to throw the bat and get runs, and he's delivered the goods more often than not, and so also has Robin Singh. He's flowered into a very, very good one-day player for India. And they're also very good runners between the wickets. They have been taking a little bit easy over here, not running as hard as they normally do, perhaps not yet mentally tuned to the fact that this is also an important international event.
Oh, what a good shot. Just got inside it just a little bit and picked his spot and hit it there. Dangerous one-day cricketer, Jadeja is.
Yes, he's got the ability to make it look also ridiculously simple. He's very laid back, doesn't seem to be pressured at all, doesn't let the pressure get to him. Takes his time, he's a good thinker of the game, and look at the way he's made room and hit that ball to the boundary. Keeps cool all the time, Ajay Jadeja, and he's in very good company. Robin Singh is another one who seems unflappable at this time when you need to throw your bat at just about every delivery, make every delivery count for more than one. India has probably got the 2 best players out there doing the business for them.
And pretty important too, Sunil, that they're both there when the last over comes around, because that could go for plenty. Wicket falls now, there's still 3 overs left, 105 for 2. It seems a daft thing to say, with still batsmen to come, but obviously if you're in there with 30 odd, it's an awful lot easier to hit the ball for boundaries, which is what India are going to require in these last 3 overs to give Australia a meaningful total. Certainly, by the way, Australia went around Pakistan this morning. Andrew Symonds, 2 overs for 16. That's been quite tidy. Robertson, 2 overs for 22. The pick of the bowlers, really. Damien Fleming up front. He bowled brilliantly at AJ Jadeja, and Shane Warne and I were wondering whether he shouldn't have bowled his third then. Nicely fielded.
Less than 3 overs now, and India, having seen the way Australia scored those runs against Pakistan, know that they have to get about 130, 140 on board to give Australia a challenging total. Greg Blewett batted brilliantly in that match.
And out. That's good bowling, because Jadeja looked to give himself just a little bit of room, and Greg Blewett followed him in there and cramped him up, and all he could really do was just flick it away on the onside, and he found Ricky Ponting on the boundary.
Yes, it's amazing how often batsmen today have found the fielder in exactly the same spot. The fielders haven't had to move at all. Ricky Ponting had to do very little to get hold of that catch. Jadeja has done his bit for India after a slow start. He's given them a good partnership with Robin Singh, and India have lost their 3rd wicket for 106.
Australia will be glad to see the back of him. Sunil, I've always felt that whenever he's at the crease in a limited over situation, no matter how many fielders you've got, 7 or 11, 7 or 9 I should say, I suppose, to put it into context, he's a very dangerous player. But he's in the pavilion right now, and India with a little bit of work to do. Now there's somebody that my co-commentator might recognise. Don't know how long ago he left home. Sunil Gavaskar's son, Rohan.
Well, he left home 48 hours ago, but you're right about the fact that I do recognise him. That's whenever I see him at home, because he's away from home more than I am.
I'm intrigued by the Christian name. Nothing to do with the Mr. Kanai, was it?
Everything to do with Mr. Rohan Kanai. Big help on my first tour to the West Indies in 1971, although he was in the opposition then. Every time I played a bad shot, at the end of the over, he would walk from slip to slip and say, get your concentration back.
Well, that's gone a long way in the air, and we'll take some catching. And oopsie. Now, that might have been a brilliant save at the end of it all, although he caught a advertising board in the nose for his troubles. Umpire isn't asking to see it again, but there's a chance of a collision between 2 fielders to start with, which is always dangerous, and then tremendous reactions there. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Well, this is the kind of fielding. That's the difference between victory and defeat often. This is the kind of feeling that inspires the rest of the team. Absolutely brilliant work that was from Andrew Symonds.
When the ball sort of pitched and almost spun away from him. Wonderful bit of fielding. Yeah, 12 overs gone, 112 for 3. Is this Rohan's type of cricket? Does he like to give it a whack?
Oh yes, he likes to give the ball a bit of a tap. Likes to hit the ball in the air. But I have to confess that I haven't seen much of him. The last time I saw him play was again a televised game in Hong Kong. Otherwise, I haven't seen him play at all in India.
Treaded Nelson on the board. Three wickets down, 2 to Julian, 1 to Blewett. 112 for 3, 2 overs to go. Yeah, 132 is probably on here. 10 and over off the last 2. Well, that's certainly in the max zone, but it's pitched and spun back like a 9-iron. So the flag goes up. He will get 2 off the bat and 2 added because of the max zone that he's hit it into. I think he might have thought he'd clear the boundary to start with. There the ball just stops and almost gets a bit of backspin. It's not a bad place to play it either. Hand the responsibility over to the senior player and captain. Sensible play.
Yes, Robin Singh's been at the crease for a long time. He's experienced. He knows how to play in such situations. It's very important for India that he takes most of the strike.
Smash down to the other end of the ground. Good running initially from Gavaskar. He got down the other end very quickly. But that'll just be 2. 1 off the bat. And 1 for the max zone. It's up in the air and falls in the hole again. Plenty of gaps, of course, with only 7 fielders.
When a bowler's tossing the ball up like Robertson is doing, there is always the temptation to go over the top. Robertson doing the right thing, of course. He can get the ball to turn away from the left-hander. Both batsmen at the crease are left-handers.
That's well bowled, but still squirted away. Inside edge, through the legs for 1.
One more over after this, so India need to get maybe another 20 runs on board, if not more. It will all depend on Robin Singh, because Fleming is going to bowl the last over and he's not an easy bowler to score off.
That's well bowled. 122 for 3. So they got 10 off that over. But as you say, Sunil, I don't think 132 is going to be enough. The way that Australia went about Pakistan this morning. And so they're going to maybe need, as you say, another 20 off this over, which isn't easy. And it will be Damien Fleming. He's making his way towards us to bowl from the commentary box end. Or the end at which the commentary box is. I'm sure the end is called something totally different. Now, how will Gavaskar play it? Will he just knock it away for 1? Tried to. Sensible thoughts.
I think he got deceived by the slower delivery from Fleming. He's seen Fleming pitch the ball a little short. He's come on very well, Damien Fleming, as a bowler in one-day cricket, bowled very well, particularly against Tendulkar.
He'd 1 for that. He'd be happy if that's his batting average at the end of his career. What he's got on the front of his cap there, 99.9.
Well, that's the helmet that was brought out to commemorate a match played for Sir Donald Bradman's charity.
Oh, that was interesting. Robin Singh backed away so far from that. A perfectly legitimate delivery. Look where this crosses the popping crease, well inside the wide area. And he never even offered a shot. Fancy footwork isn't required. Stand there and hit it.
Well, that's what I meant by Damien Fleming coming on so well as a bowler in the last couple of seasons. bowled very well in India in the limited overs matches. He wasn't in the squad for the test matches, but was brought in when a couple of their new ball bowlers broke down with injuries.
Oh, bowled. A wonderful last over this, when you consider what India need to achieve. He's almost bowled a whole over without a shot being played in anger.
Oh. He bowled a very good first over as well, and this is an excellent last over. Just 2 runs off that over, 1 delivery to go.
And that just caps it off. A fantastic bit of bowling from Damien Fleming. So just 2 off the over, if I recall correctly. I think at the beginning of that over the score was 122 for 3, and he's run in and bowled the last over for 2, including the wicket of Gavaskar off the last ball, who really had no option but to try and hit it as hard and as far as he could. And just pressure applied by some wonderful bowling.
Yes, that was a terrific over by Damien Fleming.
Visions of mist-shrouded links courses, the birthplace of golf, the very essence of tradition. Join us as we take a look back at the most memorable moments in golf's oldest championship. Call 1-800-445533 for the legend of the British Open. Hosted by Jim McKay with Tom Watson, this retrospective takes a look back at the Open's rich past, from the gentlemen whose names were first inscribed on the claret jug, all the way through to Justin Leonard's 5-stroke come-from-behind victory at Royal Troon in 1997. Call 1-800-445533 and take a trip back in time. Only $24.95 plus postage and handling. Also available, the Magnificent 8, Royal Birkdale and the 1998 official film. Only $24.95 each or $49.95 for the 3-pack. Order now and a piece of history will be yours. Call 1-800-445533.
The NRL live now on Fox Sports 2. The Auckland Warriors take on the Balmain Tigers. NRL live now. Auckland Balmain, Fox Sports 2.
Visions of mist-shrouded links courses, the birthplace of golf, the very essence of tradition. Join us as we take a look.
Who are you?
I'm your Uncle Buck.
Do I have an uncle? Unfortunately.
Welcome back to